You're muted.
There we go. Welcome,
There.
welcome, welcome, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Women with Words. My name is Michael Padmore, and I have with me the beautiful and delightful.
You don't really mean that. I'm Agatha Joseph. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us this Thursday evening.
We are
Mikey,
all we are all delightful in our own ways. I will
yeah, a
take that
delight
one.
only a mother can love.
That is
Happy
true.
Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
Yes, yes. Happy Mother's Day to all you. I hope every day it's celebrated for
Yes,
you all because you have not taken a day off yet, and
exactly.
and so you deserve to be celebrated. As you can see behind me is my beautiful, wonderful mother,
Aw.
Annie Vivian Jackby Otto, a woman that I don't know. I mean, I know a lot of people say this, and it becomes just normal. People say, "Oh, I don't know where I would be without my mother," but when I say that, I truly, truly mean it. I get over my hot towel. Yeah, I get over my hot towel. But in all of that, she refused to give up on me.
It's
She
just
she
something
was she
about
was
moms,
determined that I will make something of myself,
Yeah,
and I owe it all to her. I owe it all to her.
absolutely.
So, Jack, bye. Happy Mother's Day, Mama. So yeah, so how has your week been? How was your Mother's Day?
My Mother's Day was absolutely wonderful. My husband
Awesome.
and I traveled to Emerald Isles in North Carolina to watch a beautiful young lady, my niece, get married.
Oh,
Um, when I joined this family, she's actually my husband's second cousin, but I think she was one. So Zakia's about what, 24. Beautiful, beautiful young lady. She got married. So we were with family. It was a little chilly, but it was good. All of my freeloaders came down the weekend before, so I did see them and spend time with them on Friday before we headed out on Saturday. So Mother's Day was good. Was good.
awesome, awesome, awesome. That is good. That is good. Um, and yeah, as for me, my mother lives with me.
Oh, nice.
Yes, my mother lives with me. I always tell her I still living with her. I always tell her I still living with her. Yes, but
That's nice.
she lives with us, and it's such a delight. It's such a delight to have my mom with me. She'll give me all the old Maria G's.
Yeah, that's history. You should be recording it,
Yeah,
Mikey.
I try to. I try
Yeah,
to. I try to record them, and stuff like that. Yeah, she give me all the why certain things are certain way that we don't understand, and then
exactly.
she goes to the court. She tells me, "This is why. This is why this person is called this. This is
I
why this
love
person is
that.
this
I
way."
love that.
Yes. So,
You know, the
older
last time
cousin.
I was in Monrovia, I had the pleasure of sitting with my father, my biological father, and I never, well, let me rephrase that. I don't recall living in the same household with my father. My parents got divorced when I was like 2, and my mom, of course, took care of us. So I went to visit my father, and exactly what you're saying, there are things that I didn't know about his family. I mean, we weren't close like that, and I learned a lot. And I regretted not having a recorder, and I probably could have recorded it with my phone. But there are some things that he said, like there's this saying, all the crew people related,
Mm-hmm.
and my father was able to tell me how we're related to the Sayes and the Kofas and the this. And
Wow.
he explained all. I thought it was just, look, y'all could people just like relatives, but they're all second, third cousins, and he can trace the lineage. And you know,
Wow.
and back in the day, he said polygamy was a thing in Sasta. So a lot of them they had sister wives,
Um,
Yeah, the sister wives would raise the other child. My father was raised not by his biological mother, but his mother's sister wife, his
mhm.
father's other wife. So that was interesting. Anyway, that's
Wow.
another story about polygamy and Liberian African culture. But it's very interesting, and we should learn from our parents, for
Yeah,
those of us who still have them around, and just get all of that knowledge and wisdom and history, and let's share it with our children. I think it's important.
it is. It is, especially our children we're raising up here.
Yep,
It is even more important that we do that so that they're able to kind of keep that linkage
yep,
where they're from.
yep.
Yeah. So talking about let's get into it.
Yeah,
Um, so the first one I wanted to dive into real quick. We have a couple of things we wanted to highlight. The first one is is actually an advertisement, and this one is the all-in-one consultancy. This is a Liberian-owned consultancy organization out in the Northeast, but in Pennsylvania, Delaware area. But their services spread all across the U.S. They are amazing. They do a bunch of things. They do a lot of organizational startup work for those who are looking to start up organizations. Whether it is getting registered, whether it is getting right with the IRS, or whether it is doing a website, or even promotions of your business, they do it all. They do it all. Here I will post. There we go. So you can get in touch with Masa Dopo, who of course is very popular on the Blue app, as well as Musa Willie. They are the two executives of that organization, and you see that the numbers are posted here. We will also post it in our chat, so that you all can have access to it. But check them out. I've used them personally. They're amazing. Yes, I have a nonprofit that will raise a lot of money, Liberians supporting Liberians initiative, and they were the ones that actually did our 503, 501c3. And it was very simple. They made it just like ABC. We just gave them a bunch of information, and within a few weeks, we had our we had our approval, and it's been great ever since. So I've tried them; they are great, and I will encourage you all to give them a shot. They're really good, and like I said, they do more than just registration of businesses. They even do promotions. They do websites. I know a friend who's trying to start her own online business, clothing business, and they even do that e-commerce. I think that's what it's called.
yep.
They even do that. They set you up with e-commerce. So try them out. All in one consultancy. All right, and that's ran by Musa Willie and Masa Dopu. All right, and speaking about being out here in the diaspora, we have with us a group who are organizing the Liberian Diaspora Virtual Summit, which I believe is this Saturday, May 14th. So we're going to have a couple of representatives on here quickly just to talk about what this is, what's happening, and really quick. So we're going to go ahead and get into this. Let me see if I can bring them on here. And then you probably already know them. Um, you guys have a third person, right? Anthony?
Yes,
All
Yes.
right.
Minister Anthony is on.
There we go. Awesome. All
Welcome,
right. So
ladies and
welcome.
gentlemen.
Welcome.
Hello, how are you?
Good,
I am
thanks.
doing well. It's been a while. I hope you
It
all have been
has.
doing well.
Yes.
Why don't you? I want to allow you guys to go ahead and introduce yourselves for our audience. You can go ahead, Nikita.
Oh, thank you, Michael. Hi, everyone. My name is State Representative Naquita Ricks from the great state of Colorado. I represent District 40, and I'm excited to talk about the African Diaspora, Liberian Diaspora Summit, which is coming up this Saturday, the 14th. And what we're doing is meeting. May 14th is a very important day in Liberia's history. It's called Unification Day, and is a time that we're using to bring together people from all over the world, as far as our Liberian diaspora. We'll be talking about issues concerning Liberia, talking about how we might be able to collaborate, put our ideas together, hopefully help to move the country forward. As you know, we just celebrated the 200th year of the founding of Liberia, and so we want to see and reimagine what that future looks like. And of course, it's going to take all of us bringing our expertise, bringing our resources, coming to invest in the country, move the country forward in the areas of healthcare, business, agriculture. There are so many great opportunities there, and it's an open field. So we want to come together and just put our great minds together, come up with ideas, and see how we might be able to move forward on many different fronts. And so it's going to be a great event.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, and we have Clarice. Why don't you go ahead?
All right, so I'm Dr. Kula, and the Queen has said everything. We're very excited about this opportunity for us to come together in this way. It has not been done, so this is the first ever, right? That we're going to have all of us on this call. We will have an opportunity to go into breakout sessions. So the way it's going to work, when we come on in the morning, we'll have a full group. Introductions will be made. We'll talk, go over what everything is about. Minister Anthony Quilpa, who will speak next. He's here with us. He is actually the Deputy Minister of State without portfolio, and he's in charge of the diaspora program um, through the Ministry of State. So what we're hoping to do with this collaboration is for all of us, private sector as well as government, to come together and just have this forum to engage people, talk about the opportunities that are on ground, in all of the different industries. We'll have people talking about, like Nikita mentioned earlier, we will be talking about education. We'll be doing agriculture, health, and tourism. Those are the first four we're starting with in our breakout sessions. The goal is to have panelists in the different sessions where they'll present, and then people have an opportunity to ask questions, engage one another. So it's a time to talk, really bring your ideas together, put it on the table. What can we do as Liberians as we come together in this manner on Unification Day specifically? Because we need to unify our diaspora so that we can, in fact, go back to Liberia as a team and be able to make some effective changes. At this point, I'll turn it over to Minister Anthony Puapa.
Go ahead, Anthony.
Dr. Kula. Thank you, Representative Riggs. To our host, I say thank you. Who say it's not a good thing to see women in leadership? Look, I've been blessed with some incredible women, and I'm very certain that moving forward, I always want to work with a woman because my job has been made very, very simple with the involvement of Representative Riggs, Dr. Clarice Ford Kula, Hester Baker, Aisha, and the list goes on and on and on. But the Diaspora Engagement Program is happy to have these incredible women. We thought about having this summit, the first in its kind, taken away from the bicentennial that was launched in February. We have realized the bicentennial has brought a lot of visibility, to Liberia through its official launch and with our diaspora. And given the fact that we've been in existence now, at least since we activated the Diaspora Engagement Program in 2015, we have not had an opportunity to be heard as we do now. And so we thought it was important to have this summit where we can have a thought about the official launch of the bicentennial. What were those things that were done, those things that were not done properly that we can look at doing better, and also giving visibility to the diaspora engagement program. I want to assume that you may not have known about this program until today. And so we are hoping that at the end of the summit, a lot of Liberians in the diaspora will be aware of the diaspora engagement program, and they can work with the program because the program in the first place was established to engage Liberians in the diaspora to utilize their skill sets, expertise for Liberia's development. So we're very upbeat about this summit, and we're looking forward to our people in the diaspora. We're encouraging plenty of people, and people here register plenty. So all of us can together discuss Liberia's future on Unification Day, very important day. Interestingly, when the date was being selected, none of us here, Representative Riggs, Dr. Kula, myself, and all those who were on the call, we didn't even realize it was Unification Day until I looked at my calendar. You know, these smartphone, when you go to your calendar, all the little holidays there, markings on it. So I say, yo, widow, hoping that Unification Day, we're having this thing on. And so we were all very moved by that. So we're happy to be in this, and we're looking forward to a successful summit on Saturday. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you all for coming and welcome. I do have a couple of clarifying questions, if you don't mind. I did hear you say, is it Reverend Kwongba? Am I saying that right?
Deputy Minister.
No, Minister.
So minister, okay, as in government of Liberia, minister?
Correct.
Yeah.
All right, so that's new to me. I thought this was apolitical. So help us understand how, because I'm totally confused now. Help us understand how, I'm sorry? Oh,
No, we're listening to you.
Ooh.
No, I thought he said something. I didn't catch it. So help us understand this merger. Representative Ricks and Dr. Kula, are you all in the States? Because you said representative of Colorado, right?
Correct. I am a state representative here in Colorado, but I'm a Liberian. I am a Liberian national by birth. And so I do a lot of things in Liberia to support the country and to help it move forward. This collaboration is between the Liberia's Diaspora Office, which Minister Kuyampa represents, and we are with a group. I'm also part of the African Chamber, and we are part of a group called the Diaspora group with Clarice, Dr. Kula. So we are all just collaborating. We basically just want to see the country move forward. So that's what this event is all about. By bringing everybody together, we know that it's going to take private sector and public and everything else in between in order to move Liberia forward.
I mean, great initiative. I guess my concern will be the Liberians in the diaspora, especially you, Representative Ricks, working with the Liberian government. Is this collaboration initiated by the Liberian government, or is it initiated by the folks in the diaspora? And is there an organization in the diaspora that is, register, functioning, and merging with the ministry? So maybe if I can understand that connection.
Let's clarify, there's no merger taking place. These are all separate organizations that are working together. So Dr. Clarice, why don't you jump in and tell her about the Year of the Diaspora in your organization?
So the Year of the Diaspora, so our company is Providence Preservation Foundation, and our goal is to preserve the history, culture, and everything in between of Liberia. And under that, we have the Year of the Diaspora, which is what we launched last year as the pre-bicentennial event to begin the commemoration celebration for our 200 year. So throughout the course, the goal is to unify the diaspora, right? So that we can go into Liberia and be of aid to Liberia. In doing so, the Diaspora Engagement Program, every country has one, right? It's just unfortunate that many people don't know about the one in Liberia. Ghana has one. When Ghana did their year of return, it was actually the Diaspora Office with tourism that came together to make that a success. So every country has a Diaspora Office, right? So what they normally do, they engage the diaspora, which is what Minister Anthony is doing. His office, the Diaspora Engagement Program, is engaged with us in the diaspora so that we can come together and figure out the way forward. So that's what we're doing. But there's not a merger. It's just like Representative Rich said, separate groups of people coming together just to make sure that the diaspora is engaged. You know what I mean? So that's what we're trying to do here.
Okay. So
So
how does
it is apolitical, just so you know, it's very apolitical.
well, it can't be apolitical if you have the Minister of Tourism engaged, okay? The
No,
government is engaged, it can't be apolitical. I'm sorry.
There will be
Anyway,
no politics. We will do no politicking. Seriously.
hey, I have to call it out. We're promoting something. The folks
Yeah.
out there needs to understand what it
Mhm.
is. So
Yeah.
what are they to expect? How do they register?
All right, so there is a link. I'm not the link is on the flyer, but there is an actual link. I don't know if Representative Ricks was able to send it to you.
Yeah, I sent it to Michael.
Yeah.
So Michael should have it. Michael, can you please put up the link, the Zoom link? That is
There
the
you
link,
go.
the first
Flyer.
place.
Yeah. So if you put
Okay,
up the
okay,
link,
I'll put up the link. Just give me a
okay.
second here,
So
and I'll
people,
put that link up.
yeah. So people click on the link. The goal of this is to have no more than 500 people. We're looking to engage that many people. It's our first time that we're doing this. We want to make sure, you know, we cross our T's and dot our I's. So the goal is to have people pre-register, because you cannot get into this without registering. We don't want people to wait to the last minute, because when you register, it does ask you what industries you're interested in, all that good stuff. We would like to be able to help people place themselves in different groups for the breakout sessions. So there'll be a whole group, and then there'll be a breakout time for 4 different groups. So if we can get the registration done early enough, no longer, today would be great. I would love today to be the cutoff. Then it gives us an opportunity to work with the schedule. Look at the time, look at the number of people. We don't want to have 100 people in one group and 40 people over here. So we want to make sure we balance it out just a tad, but that will come from us getting these pre-registration forms. So if people could hop on now and register, that would be really, really good. And then that way, when we meet on Saturday, it's easier to click, 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 and get into your group. And the way it's going to work, you will know the group that you're going to based on the form you fill out. If you don't see a group there that is specifically what you put on the form, then what you can do is go into one of the breakout sessions.
But let's see.
Right? So we have 4 breakout sessions. You click on it, you click join, and it takes you into the session. So that's how it's going to work.
All right.
But
One last question for the minister. What is the ministry bringing to the table? So you have all of these folks, professionals in the diaspora. You're going to meet, you're going to place them in groups. And what is the ministry bringing to the table? What can they expect from you all?
Can you restate the question, please?
Certainly. So Dr. Kula said that you're going to be focusing on different disciplines. So different professionals, healthcare, business, what have you. My question to you is, you are engaged in this. What is the ministry bringing to the table? What are the professionals to expect from the ministry?
Thank you very much. So I will, if you can give me a minute or two, want to give you a little history of the diaspora engagement program. I know you had asked me before, but Representative Ricks and Dr. Kula answered the question you were asking me, which is okay. But I thought it's important to give you a little background of how we got here, and then it gives you an understanding of what is it the government is bringing to the table, right? And so in 2010, the government at the time endorsed the establishment of the diaspora engagement program, because we are aware of the tremendous amount of contribution Liberians in the diaspora have made to this country, okay? And so it became very clear that having an office dedicated to promoting diaspora engagement in the country was the best thing to do. So that idea was endorsed by the cabinet in 2010, and the program was officially activated in 2015 with the primary objective of engaging and encouraging Liberians in the diaspora to come and contribute to Liberia's development. As you will see in the summit, and as Clarice stated, there will be breakout rooms. There will be room, a room dedicated to tourism, one dedicated to I think investment, another one agriculture, another one health. So the purpose for the different breakout room is, we understand that Liberians in the diaspora may have different areas of interest. Okay, there's some people in the diaspora who will come and just want to work in the government. There are people in the diaspora who will come and want to get involved in, agriculture and all that. So we're hoping that at the end of this summit, we can have an idea as to what Liberians in different parts of the world, when I say different parts of the world, talking about hotspots where there are Liberians, for example, Canada, Australia, Europe, the United States of America, and even West Africa in Ghana. We're hoping that they will all be part of the summit to give us an idea on what you're thinking about and how we then in the country can look at putting together a strategy. As a matter of fact, we have the draft national policy that will be getting to the desk of the president pretty soon for his blessings. And once that is done, it will be rolled out, and we'll all see what's in there for our diaspora. But everything in there is in the interest of Liberia, because at the end of the day, Liberians in the diaspora are best placed to move in this country in a positive direction. So we are here as that office that is between the government and the diaspora to ensure that the interaction is very smooth and beneficial to Liberia. I hope I've answered your question.
Sure. Michael, you're on
mute.
Yeah,
I have a few questions. And just so you know, right after the program, we'll go ahead and post that link. For some reason, the way it is coming through, it is the whole it's a long format. It's not the short format for the Zoom meeting. So it's not coming through like that, where people can just click on it. So we'll go ahead and post it right after the show, that people can have that link and just click directly on it. So I had a question. For me, so I have my hands in different parts of Liberia. I do a little bit of philanthropy here. I do a little business there. So I guess my question is, who are you guys hoping to attract to this summit?
Oh,
Go ahead.
A little bit of everybody, because if you look at Liberia is what I call green territory, right? So we need help everywhere across the board in Liberia. So if you have education, people who are working in education, who would like to establish schools that can help the children. There are many areas that have no school. I myself, I built a school from ground up in an area where I saw little kids walking an hour to get to school. I don't talk about this often, but these are the things I do in my private time. So we have a school there, and we help a lot of children who don't have any money. They don't pay for it. I pay for that. I pay the teachers from here. I want to be able to go on ground and establish more of those things. So say I'm in the summit and I meet another educator who has the same mindset. And she and I said, well, let's put our resources together. We can open 10 versus the 2 that you can do by yourself. You get what I'm saying? So the goal is that collaboration. So we want to attract educators. We want to attract agriculturalists. We want to attract people in business into different areas. So it's for everyone. And I myself, I looked at the list of registrants, and I'm blown away by the level of, I don't know, when I see the types of work and the type of professionals that we have coming to the summit, I'm very pleased, right? Because we have a little bit of everybody. So we will find our niche within the group, whether it be us coming up with an investment, I don't know, a big investment group where we can put our money together, do something major, whether it be a few of us coming together and say we're going to do education. Another group says we're going to do a clinic or something in the health sector. Another group says, oh, tourism, we're going to build. I don't know. I just saw something where 2 African-Americans moved to Ghana or Nigeria, and they work together, put their money together. They've established a fancy restaurant on the beachfront. Maybe Representative Ricks and I will say, oh, girl, let's go do this, this fancy thing or bed and breakfast or something like that. But the idea is to meet like-minded people on this summit, coming from every area, every walk of life, and then trying to establish together what we can do. Because for me personally, I'm tired of doing it by myself. And I know you are too, and you and everybody on this call who's doing it by themselves. We all would do it better if we're working together. Chinese do it, the Mexicans, everybody does it. We have got to get to that place, guys, where we work together as a team to move our country forward. So that's what we're,
And Michael, I will also add that I think, we are fortunate to be in the diaspora, whatever part of the world you might be. We've been able to attain different levels of education, degree, certification, technical skills, and all of these things that we can take back to Liberia and to help the country. In order for the economy to grow, it's going to take investment that has to happen there. And I think it's just an opportunity or a forum where people can come together like-minded, and, you know, kind of connect on different levels, collaborate, and let's drive the country into the future, because it's going to take us to build it and to move it forward. So it's really a great opportunity and a good place for us to come together and just dream, but not only just dream. I mean, people are tired of the same old just talk. And I think we really want to be able to develop some action plans, action items that people can move forward with. But the first step is engaging and coming together and kind of gathering those thoughts and seeing where the opportunities are, where the gaps, and what do you bring, your resources, your expertise to make a difference. So we're hoping that's what we'll get out of this.
Okay, I have one final question for you guys. For those who cannot make it, for those who cannot make that summit, I think it's from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Correct. Eastern time. Yes.
Those who are interested, but they cannot make that summit, that time just does not work for them. How can they follow up? How can they, you know, follow up with and find out exactly what happened? You know, what grounds did you guys cover? You know, how far did you get, and how can they get in afterwards?
All right, so a couple of things, right? For sure, we're going to record it, right? Not saying, because we want people to register, so the recording is not going to come out right now, but eventually there will be some type of recording. But what we would like people to do, right, is, and I don't know how we could do it, but we want them to engage us. If they can go ahead and just reach out to one of us, let us know what you want to do, or even onto your platform. We would like to have an opportunity to do this again. And what we're trying to do to see if we can collect email addresses of different people who may be interested, so that when we do this again, we can now engage them and send out information to them, let them register, you know, because we don't want to do this just one time. This is the first of its kind, right? So like in December, for example, we, as the year of the diaspora, we're coming back to Liberia to do some events. And one of the things, Representative Ricks, we do a huge investment summit, so they can come and hear more information about other investments in Liberia, all that good stuff. But we would like to engage them. So if you guys can open up your platform, they can send questions to you or anything they want. They can have our contact information, so that when we are ready to do it again, we can send out the information, because we know we're not going to get everybody. That we know for sure on this first.
Right. Yeah. Sounds good. All right. So if you guys could send your contact information, whether it's email or whatever it is, we will definitely post that. I know I would love to be there. I think I will catch the beginning, but I have a flight to catch later on, so I won't be able to stay till 2. And you know, I was thinking about myself when I asked that question. But I'm sure, you know, America runs 24/7. You know, some people are at work at 8 o'clock in the morning. Some people are just getting home. You know, so everybody won't be able to make that, unfortunate. But I'm sure that question, you know, and that follow-up will really help them. Okay, I want to thank you guys for joining us. Really appreciate it. I'm looking for, I think this is long past due. I think the diaspora coming together as a unit and working to effect development and investment in Liberia is way past due. I think I always say one of the greatest things that happened to the flight of Liberians is that Liberia has an enormous human capital of professionals, and you know, and I think Liberia will really benefit if we can, if this time around we can bring this together and make it work and have everybody committed, including the government, in making this work. I think it will be an awesome feat. I have hope. My fingers are crossed. And I wish you guys best of luck. We'll go ahead and post the link on our webpage after here, so people can be able to click on it. And thank you guys for joining. I really appreciate it. And good luck. Good luck
to you all.
Thank you guys. Thank you, Michael, for being so quick to, you know, and help us. You're always so very helpful. We appreciate your platform and all the stuff that you do for Liberia. So thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah.
To the
All
Spoon
right.
family, we just want to say thank you. Thank you. We look to collaborating with you more often. And
Wrong
it was
show.
having
Wrong
us tonight.
shore. We're
No,
not the Spoon TV.
this
Nope,
isn't
wrong shore.
spoons.
This is not Spoon TV.
Oh, sorry, no, this
Not
is
wrong show.
Apolitical. Apolitical.
we've been on
Anything
we've been on
apolitical
too
you
many.
bring, anything apolitical you bring, we would definitely be willing to do it. Okay, we promise.
Sorry, we've been on too many
We're
shows.
all Liberians.
Wrong show.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
My bad.
Anyway, good luck
My
to you all.
Yeah.
Good
All
luck
right.
to you
You
all.
Thank
guys
you,
have,
Mike.
have a great evening, though.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you,
you so
guys.
much.
You
Bye
have a good
bye.
Thanks for coming
Hi.
on. Have a good one.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
All right. You all heard
All
it.
right,
Mike is going to
awesome.
put the hyperlink up later on in the show. If you're interested, you're a professional, even if you're not. They want to hear from all Liberians all over the world. So, hey, if you're like me and you're a skeptic, just join in. Listen to what they have to say. Never hurts. Any kind of information is good information, right? So we're going to put up the information for the summit. It's on Saturday, May 14th. They're asking people to pre-register. I think that's a great thing. Put your area of discipline in there so they know what you're representing. And then go ahead and listen. 4 breakout sessions, agriculture, needed everywhere. Tourism, education, definitely needed in Liberia, and health. I know we have a lot of people in the healthcare field. So join them on Saturday. Please register. Let's listen to what they have to say. All
Awesome.
right.
Awesome. Yep, there's always something new. So hopefully, we're hopeful. When we remain hopeful, and we'll see what happens.
Yes. Anything
So,
to move Liberia forward. So
yep.
let's move on with the show. I know
Yeah.
people are wondering where Glendy is, and everybody know our Auntie Beauty Eva is on hiatus. Always thinking about her. We see her
Yes.
with the makeup, and I saw the one for mental health, and that it just brings awareness to what's going on in the world. So we want to send our love out to Eva. Glendy is preoccupied with some personal matters this evening, and we're sending our love also to her, the real auntie. And I know she cannot be here, but she is watching. So Glendy, sending loves to you.
You know, actually,
So it's just Mikey and I holding it down. So
yes. So why don't we get into some topics here?
why don't we?
There are some topics on the page.
Yep.
That were quite interesting. And
Yeah.
so I definitely think we should get into that.
So so let me talk a little bit about why we're here today. We didn't have a guest as we usually do. The folks from the summit was impromptu. They reached out. They wanted a platform. We extended the offer. But this really should have been a chill show, and we can still make that, just Mikey and I. On our Facebook page, Women with Words. If you have not yet joined, please do. Simply just Women with Words. It's a very active page, and the real auntie put out there this week that we were going to have an open mic show. So there are times, we've had this a couple of times where we just sit and chat and give our opinions. We said we're women. We have opinions, but we got Uncle Mikey here, so we get it from a man's perspective as well. So we cannot discount that. We are an equal opportunity show. So on the open mic, there were several questions or comments or statements that were shared that people wanted us to talk to. So I'll just go down the list. If we have time, we'll cover them all. If not, we'll keep it for another day. So this will be in lieu of our Ask Auntie questions. So we're just going to go right into it. So the first one was, every wife should have a secret lover. I mean, I'm just going to go straight and think that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. If you are willing and wanting and desire to be someone's bride, Why would you want a secret lover?
Mm.
If you want to have multiple lovers, if that's your thing, to each his own. I'm not here to judge. Why get married in the first place? So
Mm.
for me, that question will be a solid negative, a no on every levels. I think it's defeats the purpose of being a wife. So if your intentions are to have multiple lovers, don't waste anyone's time or yours. Just don't be married. And you can be single and hold it up if you want. Mikey?
Yeah, look, when I read that, I was like, really, you know, like why even stress yourself out all that, like you said, just if you don't be married, be married. If you don't be married, nobody forcing you,
Exactly.
yeah, just
Exactly.
do what you want to do, I guess, yeah, that one didn't even get me, talking about secret lover, come on,
But these days people take marriage for granted,
mhm,
and I'm of the opinion that don't do
mhm,
it just because it's in style or you think it's in style, right? Do it because it's something that you want to do. If it's not your thing, so be it. Then don't do it. But don't
mhm.
go in there with the intentions of having multiple partners and pretending to be in a secret relationship. I think that just defeats the purpose.
Yeah, I think that's crazy.
Yeah. All right. Oh gosh. Here's the second one. Men who push their wives far away and women who look for things they have no business searching for. Um I'm gonna let you go on this one. The second part of this statement is just out there, but go
Mhm.
ahead, Mikey. What do you think about this one?
Well,
Men who
so
push their wives away.
it comes back to that. It kind of it circles around back to that same thing. Um, then why you want to be married? You know,
Exactly.
marriage is not just for childbearing, especially in our age. Marriage is not. I know professional people who want to have kids. They decide they want to have kids, and they have kids, and they raise their kids. They don't get married.
Exactly.
But if you choose to get married, if you decide that's what you want, then why push the person away? I don't understand. Why act like you won't be married and you marry? It's just I think just if you got into the place where you feel like this person is no longer you know wanting towards you, then let the person know.
All right.
Let the person know. The person too will make their own decision. 'Cause I don't think anybody wants to be pushed away.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah. Men
definitely.
who push their wives away. Why would a man do that? Is it
Uh-huh.
because he's no longer attracted to his wife? Or is it because he's fallen for someone else? Is it because I don't know, he cannot perform anymore and he feels that she won't be understanding? There's so many reasons why that might happen.
Oh, he's gay.
Or he's gay. He's
Yeah.
found, he's
Hmm.
coming in terms with his own. There are multiple. You're absolutely right. But when I think about that, or I read that, there are multiple reasons why that might happen. Again, be true to yourself. Live in your truth. Um, I'm on my second marriage. I've been my second marriage 23 years. Um, there are times that I don't want to be married, and I think it happens to everyone. We have our differences. We talk about it, you know, but overall, if there's any time in our relationship where I feel like, listen, I'm done with this. This is not for me. I'm not going to stay here and pretend that I want to be here.
Hmm.
I think we all need to live in our truth. And the second part about women looking for things they have no business searching for, I'm not sure what that statement meant, what the author meant by it. Is it they're looking, they don't trust their husband, and they're looking for things, investigating him behind his back. Is that what they mean, or is it, or do they mean that the women themselves are out there trying to find a lover, which will be the same answer to our former question. So, I mean, either way, if marriage isn't for you, you're tired of it, it's not working, you're no longer happy, you're no longer in love, people do change. And if you cannot adapt to the changes of your relationship, I say get out. No, nobody gonna point at you. Shoot, I tell my husband all the time, "Hey, you don't know when I'm gonna meet my third husband." He doesn't find it funny. I do, because you never know. Not that I'm out there looking, but things happen. Be open to it. Don't put yourself in a situation where you're unhappy. Life is very short.
Well, we know how much you promoted the first one, so he stands to gain.
Hey, look, my mom has always taught us that whatever it's worth doing is worth doing well. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it to the absolute best of my ability. Even if it's the worst thing, I'm going to make sure I do it right. So, hey, I tried the first time. It didn't last too long. I got a beautiful daughter from it. We're not buddy friends, but we're certainly not fighting. I can pick up
Yeah.
the phone and call my ex. That's life. But I'm of the mindset, hey, I'm turning 50 this year. You have to live in your truth. You have to be happy.
Yeah.
Life is very short. So, anywho,
Sure.
let's go to the third one.
Uh-huh.
All right. Oh dear. Why is it that men admire a strong woman with a very good job? She's hardworking. She likes to take time and travel, and she just loves to enjoy herself. Her question is why most men say they're okay about it. They talk to her, but they don't want to ask her out.
Okay. So let me take a stab at this.
Go ahead.
I think sometimes I think men do this all the time, and I think women do this some of the time. I think people get mixed up between admiration and a desire to be in a relationship.
Interesting.
You know, like you can admire somebody and really not be attracted to them, and not want to be in a relationship. And I think men do it a lot, where if a woman admires them, they think, oh no, that woman
They let
definitely
me.
wants me, yes. And women sometimes misconstrue this, like, oh my God, he likes hanging out with me, he admires me, he tells me how great of a person I am, but he hasn't asked me out. Like somehow admiration definitely transcends into asking you out. No, sweetheart, it doesn't necessarily do that. I'm just saying, I think it's that age that coming to me now where I can speak more out there.
Oh, go ahead. You earn it.
It does not. It does not mean that. We can admire you, and admire who you are, who you've become, the woman that you are, and have no desire at all to be in an intimate relationship with you. No. Okay. So I think that's, when I look at that statement, that's where I come from on that. Like, get it together, sister.
I agree. I 100% after reading that thought the same thing. Yeah, they admire you doesn't mean that they want you. And another thing comes to mind. Admiration is one, but just being polite, being respectful, being friendly is always misinterpreted. Not always, but almost always misinterpreted as seeking more than just a platonic friendship. People think, oh, if she's saying hi to me and she's smiling and she checks she wants me. No, she don't want you, boo. She is just being friendly. Friendliness does not always equate to flirtiness. And I think it's what I'm reading here. Being, admiring someone doesn't necessarily means they are attracted to you romantically.
Yes, that's
Good
that's
job.
what I get from it. I mean, that should be a sign. If he admires you that much and he's not asking you out, it doesn't mean something's wrong with you.
Exactly.
With the question what she asked was always like, "What's wrong with me?" Like,
Yeah.
no, nothing's
Yeah.
wrong with you. There's absolutely nothing wrong with you. He's just not into you.
Is it
That
not a
could, I think.
movie?
Hey,
Yeah,
but
it is, right? He's
yes,
just
yes,
not
it
into
is.
you.
Yes, it is. But I think it's a sign of respect.
Yeah.
It's a sign of respect. That he can admire you, and not want to sleep with you. Like I think women should carry that as a prize, like an award, like a sign of dignity. That I carry myself well. That when men see me, they can admire who I am, what I stand for, and not see me as a sexual object that
Yes.
they want to sleep with. Yes, And talking about that, we can move on to the next.
I'm going to skip that one and go to I'm going to flip it over. Okay. So
Okay.
the next one I'm going to talk about is, what are some of the flaws that spouses find difficult to talk to each other about?
Oh, spouses. I guess.
This
Oh,
got to be some young love because,
that's what I'm thinking right now. It has to be young. I'm thinking about,
yeah.
brand new relationship, brand new marriage. That's what I get from that because after we've been together, for 20 something years, and stuff like that. There isn't much. There isn't much. Sometimes I gotta be the one be the, hey, we can talk about my brain. There are certain things, I still want to see you in a certain way,
Right.
Yeah, don't tell me. Yeah, there's certain things you just my brain can't take right now. So I don't want to discuss that part, But yeah,
It,
after all that time, after all that time,
yeah.
it's hard. But for young people, let's talk about young people.
Not even young people do. If you're in, she said the person. I said she. I don't know if it's a she or a he, but the
Mhm.
person says spouses find it difficult to talk to. Why would you find it difficult to talk to your spouse? Flaws. We all have it. None of us
Mhm.
are perfect.
Mhm.
What are some of the flaws? Is she talking about? I don't like to do laundry. I hate doing laundry. I did laundry when I was a stay-at-home mom. My husband loves to do laundry. He likes his clothes folded a certain way. I love to cook, but I don't like to do dishes. We got freeloaders. They do dishes. Is that a flaw? I don't
No.
pump gas.
Mhm.
I don't like the smell of it. It makes me nauseous, so I don't pump gas. My husband pumps my gas for me. Um,
Oh, that's so cute.
I don't want to tell Mr. Joseph's business, but there are certain things that he does that I don't care for. But is
Mhm.
it worth discussing? No, it isn't. He's not perfect. I know he's not, but I'm married to him, and there are certain things I accept being his spouse. I'm not going to air his dirty laundry, but there are few things that he does that I don't like,
Mhm.
but it's not significant enough because I know I'm not perfect.
Mhm.
So why point out every little flaw in a relationship that a person does? Why is it that you must bring it up? If you love the person, you love all of them, the good, bad, and the ugly. So, I mean, if it's something that's detrimental to their health and well-being, say if my husband was drinking too much, that's
Mhm.
different.
Yeah.
Definitely talk about it. But day-to-day thing that, oh, he came home from work, he threw his backpack in the middle of the floor, pick it up.
Mhm.
That's what I would do. Those are the
Yeah.
types of things that I'm talking. The petty stuff, I don't say anything about it. It's
Yeah.
it's if it's the big stuff, he's not going to get his, what the thing called, the yearly checkup that most men don't like
Oh,
to
the
do.
animal physical.
The annual physical, the colonoscopy, the
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. That's a flaw. Most men don't like to go to the doctors. Now that I will be all up on. I'll pick up the phone and say, "Hey, I'm calling for my husband. I know he ain't gonna do it. Can you just say the doctor schedule this appointment and call him and say you got an appointment?" I'll do stuff like that. That's a flaw, but that's a major flaw, right? We're talking life and death, not the little things.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, I think flaw is a heavy word,
Yeah.
especially the fact that we all have them.
Yep.
I think that's a heavy word to use. Like, how can we talk about their flaws? How about, I think switching that word up to something else probably will be the beginning of a good conversation.
Absolutely.
I don't want nobody to call me and be like, "Hey, we need to sit down and talk about your flaws." Like, no, no, we're not doing that.
No, I ain't got no flaws.
That's a bad way to start the conversation in the first place.
Yeah.
So I think if I had any advice for that person, it would be, don't start the conversation with, "Let's talk about your flaws." Okay. Yes,
right.
And for somebody who's been the same person for so long, it's like, what I would say is, it's take time off to really learn to ignore the little stuff, and to work on yourself. You'll be surprised how working on yourself can encourage your partner to work on themselves.
So true.
Yeah, work on yourself.
That is so true.
Take time to look at your flaws.
What the Bible said, take the speck out of your eye.
Yeah. The log out of your eye before you go for the speck in the next person's.
There you go.
Yeah. So take that time, work on your flaws. And they'll notice, and they'll be like, "Wow, oh wow, okay, maybe I need to kind of shape it up a little bit, and put a little time in making this thing work." So that would be my thing right there.
But like you said, it's a good starter conversation. Old couples, new couples, it's good conversation to just talk about. And maybe you're right. Don't say, "I want to talk about your flaws." You say, "What is it that I can do?" It's usually how I start my conversation. If I want my husband to do something, I always like, me. What can I do to da 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 da? And then once he asks me that question or answer it, then it's open season. I can now ask the same question that I intended to. I've been at this a long time. Husband number 2, I got this down pat.
I can see that. I can definitely see that.
But yeah, anyway, so for you out there, change the word, like Mikey said. Flaw is not a really good word. You don't want to have a sit down conversation with a grown person. It's usually not going to end well. So, yeah. All right. So the last question is, oh gosh, why is it deemed sexy if a woman has a rabbit or a rose, but embarrassing if a man has a doll or a flashlight? So we talked about this a little bit. I personally don't know what a flashlight is, and I didn't have time to Google it, huh?
I found out.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Okay, so maybe you can educate me and the others.
I really don't want to. It's a tool. It's a tool for masturbation.
Okay.
It's a tool for masturbation. Yes.
Okay. You see, I learned something new today. I did not know that. Okay. Yes. Why is it deemed sexy for a woman to have a rabbit or a rose, but embarrassing for a man that has a doll or a flashlight? What do you think? I don't know who deemed it.
I mean, I can tell you that was written by a man.
It was written by a man.
Yes, because it feels to me, it sounds like a perspective of a man. Okay. A man, from a man's perspective, I'll speak from a man's perspective. A man will be the one that will, in his mind, will find a woman using that as sexy. But in his self-conscious, he will be embarrassed. So, like, for example, if while making love, a woman introduced a toy into the lovemaking, a man might see that as sexy. But if she introduced a toy for him to use on him, they will be self-conscious, you know. And I think it's a personal thing, you know. I think it's a couple thing. You know, some people are self-conscious about that. Some people are not, you know. And I think it's a personal choice.
I would
Yeah.
agree. I
Yeah.
would
It's a personal
definitely
choice.
agree. Hey, I go back to my all of my answers. It's
Whatever
communication.
makes you
And
happy.
whatever makes you happy, you got to do. You have to talk to your spouse. If you're feeling embarrassed, like you said, I think it's a personal thing. I don't know who wrote this, but you know, who knows you're doing it? That's the first question. So why are you embarrassed? So if the person that knows that you're doing it, if it's important to you, sit that person down and have the conversation with them. That's just me. And you know, if you're feeling some kind of way about it, well, maybe it's on you, and you don't even know if the person feels that way. So the answer to that will be simply have that conversation. And if they're feeling some kind of way or you're embarrassed, then y'all need to talk about it and figure out how to best make it work for you. But if y'all love it, I like it. Y'all go
Whatever
right
works for you.
ahead. Y'all go right ahead.
Yeah.
All right. So those were the questions. I think we covered them. We're over at our hour. We did give
Yes.
we did give
The diaspora folks. Yeah.
the Diaspora Summit an
Mm-hmm.
opportunity to speak. I do want to highlight our Facebook page again. It's Women with Words. We do broadcast on the YouTube channel. It's the same, Women with Words. You know, we have that Ask Intersection segment in the show where we ask you for questions. And these are outstanding questions, by the way. But we
Yes.
want to cover everything, not only romantic questions, you know, in the bedroom, husband and wife, talk about finances. There was somewhere that I read someone was saying, um, actually, no. My in-law was telling me that her daughter went viral, so I can say it on the show because
Mhm.
the one that just got married this weekend, she and the boyfriend lived together and they maintained that they maintained their celibacy
Okay.
until marriage, even though they lived together, and that was a personal choice, and I
Mhm.
commend them for it. They're both Christians. They're really young, and they wanted to wait until they got married to be intimate. Bravo to them. But there was a second part to a post that my niece did, where she said she they both work, and she gave her money to her then fiance, her now husband, and she gets an allowance. And Black Twitter went crazy. The radio stations in California was all talking about this couple,
Wow.
and it was all over the internet, and people had a problem with her receiving an allowance. I personally don't see anything wrong with it because it's their business, it's their life, it's
Mhm.
their money, and
Mhm.
how they choose to run their relationship. If it works for them, fine. On the flip side, personally, I'm not giving my money to no man to give me an allowance. But that's me.
Mhm.
I'm also 50 years old. This young lady is less than 25. So, you know, things are different. But that's how things used to be back in the day. And
Mhm.
maybe they're following their interpretation of a biblical relationship. But who are we to judge them?
Who are we to judge?
We're
Yes.
not paying their bills. If it
No.
works for them and they love it, I like it. So, you know, I'm just going to let you speak on that. Would you give your wife an allowance? Would your wife give you all her money, put it in a pot, and she gets an allowance?
No, I think that would be sacrilegious in in our house. Okay. Now, when I gave me her money, I tell you right now, should I give you her money? No, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that But the thing is, I think sometimes we get all riled up in pronouns and subject and verbs. You know, when I listen to that, you know what I heard? This is what I heard, and maybe I'm just a little not there, but this is what I heard. We decided we're going to pool our money, and we're going to take out of that a certain allowance for each person at a certain time. That's what I heard. Some people get stuck on, oh, he, you know, gives me.
Exactly.
You know, they agreed.
Yep.
They agreed. You know, so whether she goes there herself and takes the 100, 200, whatever dollar is for her week, you know, or he comes home and puts it here in your pocket, you know, it's an agreement, you know. And I hope as a young couple, they don't get boggled down on the pronouns and the subjects, you know. If it's a mutual decision, it's a mutual decision. You guys go for it. I think it's a brilliant idea to pool your resources together to discipline yourselves in your spending as a young couple. You know, it can only take you places. It can only take you places. So I would definitely encourage them to do that. You know, definitely. And that's what I got from it. All positives. All positive.
And, you know, they're going to learn about each other as they grow in their marriage. And like I said, maybe that's what works now. Maybe she has poor spending habits. Maybe he is the financial savvy one in the relationship. You know, what would it have been this upsetting to a lot of people had it been the other way around?
Exactly.
Maybe then she would have been the financially savvy one and he wasn't disciplined. You don't know what the reason is. And like I said, back in the day, I told her this, and I didn't get a chance to speak to him, but they're out on their honeymoon, and I'm going to call them, just give them some advice. I did tell her this: make sure you have what you all have together, but I want to encourage you to have your own. But I also told her to encourage her husband to have his own. You want each person to be able to stand on their own financially, but together you are a power couple.
Yes.
And that was my advice to her, you know, as they off on their honeymoon, because they've been celibate for 4 years dating. And I know they're busy doing whatever they're busy. I know. He was so excited when he saw his
I don't blame him.
Walk down the aisle. He was crying. He was doing all of this. You could just see pure joy in his heart. And I'm just so proud of Zakia and Lauren. I just love you both, and I wish you well. And you know, it was wonderful. But yeah, that was my advice to her. I'm going to tell him the same thing. Get yours. She's going to have hers. But together, you'll become that power couple that
that's awesome. And if they were able to hold the celibacy, I think they will figure out the money stuff.
I'm pretty sure they will. But so social media had it. I mean, it was all over the place. Anyway, but I did want to share that, how people view things. And you're right. We look at the pronouns too much in society. We really do.
Yeah.
We really do.
Awesome.
All right.
It has been a great time. It has been a very great time. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. It's always great to be here.
Yeah.
And to hang out with you.
Same here.
And to keep in line.
You're my small brother now.
To keep me in line. So it's always awesome though. And I appreciate the time of our guests. For joining us. We really do. You guys have been loyal followers, and we appreciate you. We try every week to bring you a quality show, not unlike anything else out there, and we strive to do that really, really hard.
Yes,
and we try very hard to justly protect that. So so sometimes you might see us become a little defensive. Is because we care about the product that we put out there. We care about the people that we present that to. Yes.
Yeah.
And so it's near and dear and passionate to us. Okay.
So
With that being said, you go right ahead.
yeah, so we're still celebrating mothers, right? We're still in
Yes.
the month of May. Glendy told you all last week and the week before that we're going to be celebrating mothers. We had Mama Florida and her daughter Gladys last week. Wonderful, wonderful pair. I just want to tell you who we're having next week. We're
Yes.
having Ciara and her mama Ellen. So we're really excited to talk to them, to learn about them, to learn how their mother-daughter relationship works, especially now her being the adult. So it's gonna be an exciting month talking to all mothers. And hey, if your mom is still alive, go ahead, give her a hug today, give her a call, tell her you love her.
Yes.
So next week, Thursday, same time, same place, we're gonna be talking to Ciara and Mama Ellen.
Awesome.
All
Awesome.
right. So, Mikey, that's it.
Yeah.
We're done.
Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you
will
all
see
for
you all
joining.
next Thursday. All right, people.
Yes, we will. Bye.